Так, ну что, проверяем. Угу. Да. Первый раз играю, давай попробуем режим нормальный. Интересно, она с джойстика играется? Ну, бедный, остался. Лапами грести не умеет, наверное.
There is a place where the lost embers go. As their light begins to fade, Ember ran because standing still made them feel helpless. The wall glistened. The painting showed embers on a sacred journey.
Что, типа лабиринт?
The painting showed embers on a sacred journey.
Ну, посмотрим. О, ты кто?
Ember felt so afraid and alone that it was a relief to find someone to talk to. Ember froze, almost too frightened to look away, when they noticed a small satchel. satchel felt heavy. Ember looked. The statue shone brightly in the light.
Золотишко нашли.
There was a symbol on the floor. There was a symbol on the floor.
Статуэтку туда нельзя?
Ember noticed something wrong. There was a round space where something used to fit. To Ember's delight, the golden statue slid perfectly into place.
Что передвинуть, да? Ну давай. Ну хорошо, пусть будет так.
Ember
Идем
left,
дальше.
feeling sorry for the stranger now alone in the dark. The stairway opened into a dark forest. Ember could feel fear taking over. They'd washed up alone, somewhere very unfamiliar. Ember felt like they were being watched.
А кнопка назад это какая? А? Обратно. И? Ну и что? Взаимодействовать. Ну ладно.
The foxes howled into the night. The only reply was silence. The path was blocked.
Так, что нам тут надо сделать? Птичка нам что-то показывает.
As Ember approached, the flames seemed to call out. With a feeling like falling, the forest had slipped away. Ember felt lost in darkness and ruin. The caged flame stoked new hope in Ember.
О, это я поехал. Я думаю, что это такое тут?
hope was almost within reach. The flame spoke and Ember listened.
Ой, вкусный кофе.
The flame lingered ahead. Was it trying to escape? Or leading the way?
Ух ты, ничего себе, некромант.
The campfire flickered into life. The ghost spoke. Hope has returned to a forlorn. I will warm them until they choose. Ember looked to the ghost for answers. This is a place between places to travel through as your light fades. But none have passed on, and the Forest King now holds us here, and those who linger will turn forlorn. Again that word, forlorn. The forlorn are those who lost their way along the path. If you find them, send them to me and I will guide them. I am just a guide along the way to find. So many lost embers have I seen. More than I. Ember thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind. The Forest King, what the campfire will light. Find those who are lost. Bring embers to the fire. There are others lost. Find them and I will guide them. Step backwards, little Ember. Look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen. Travel wisely. Return if you have lost your way."
Так, и что у нас? 4, еще 3 где-то спрятаны. Типа надо искать. Давайте, пещерка.
The old gate was locked. The crow held its shining trophy tight.
Так, мой ключ улетел. И в воду. Нормально. И что, ты типа плавать не умеешь? Давай спрыгну. Кстати, а что у нас по дамагу?
The cave entrance was overgrown with dry brambles.
О,
The stranger whispered. Ever feel? I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice. The stranger whispered. I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice. The key was nestled between the... But it was just out of reach.
еще какая-то удочка нужна, да? Птичка, лети отсюда. Ага, понятно. А как положить? Ага.
The worm looked helpless, with no way to escape. As Ember picked it up, the worm let out a little yelp.
Как он мог взвизгнуть?
The stranger whispered, I've never felt that.
Так, это все
What does it
говорит, что
feel
за ним
like?
следят.
Is it nice? It sounds nice.
Огонь? А что я могу делать? Ну ладно.
The key was nestled, but it was just out of reach. It didn't seem like that would really help.
Ну давай птички дадим. Не хочет, да? Сжечь?
The broken net hung ominously around the skeleton's neck.
Угу. Теперь его еще зашить надо.
The stranger shivered in the cold.
А, я типа проношу?
Warmth was a distant memory, stolen by
Ага.
the passing miles. They'd moved through such dark places.
Ага. Поджечь, перебежать, поджечь.
They lay down and closed their eyes.
А, надо с огрызком прийти, понятно.
The stranger blinked at Ember. Is it morning already? How
Хороший
long
вопрос.
have I been asleep? The stranger blinked at Ember. Is it morning already? How long have I been asleep? The door was sealed shut.
И что? Что заперто? О, ты кто?
The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen."
Я ничего не хочу говорить.
The forest king, the campfire will find those who are lost. Bring embers to the fire. Travel wisely. Return if you have lost your way. The stranger said, "Take care of those you care about the most." The stranger said, "Thank you for being so kind."
Еще бы знать, где это. Так, а может все же джойстик работает? Мне кажется, что эта игра должна с джойстика играться хорошо. О! Так, сейчас надо кое-что проверить. Так. Мгм. 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 Так, продолжаем. Вон удочка. А как мне наверх попасть? Мне надо как-то попасть наверх.
Barely visible through the murky water was and on a small pier with barely a sound, a lonely fisherman sat.
О.
The traveller spoke. You ever had... I miss a good roast frog. Oh, how they crackle.
Или это залезть нужно? Вот он.
The stranger had been forgotten. They tried to follow as best they could.
А. Ну вот все три смотрят в одну сторону. Что надо-то сделать?
The stranger looked at Ember with surprise. Someone came back for me. Thank you.
Угу.
The stranger looked at Ember with surprise.
Так,
Someone came back for me. Thank you.
тебе тоже спасибо. Так, теперь идем за удочкой. Понятно, березу с той стороны надо уронить. А, берет. Это мы куда пришли?
The traveller said, Friend, you need a boat. Go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back.
Ну, хорошо, передадим дело. Давай
The
попробуем.
stranger had blazed their own path, created their own rock, their own islands.
Ту-ру-ру.
They did not need Ember's kindness.
А, так, подожди.
But still, Ember stayed.
Я могу с ним подняться, интересно? Нет, не могу. То есть я это должен подниматься один. Значит, я ставлю сюда. Этот сюда. Сюда.
building a bridge should it ever be needed. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence.
Все? Можем идти дальше? Лягуху. Как-то надо поймать лягуху. Чтобы съесть ее.
The Ember was curious. I'm headed for the crossroads. I've heard there's a nest there. A safe place.
И что мне с этим делать? Ну, давай тогда лягушку к лягушке ставим. Ну, я так и думал. О, еще один.
The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze.
Что? Угу. Так. Если я туда докачу. И что мне это дает? Ну-ка проверим. Не понимаю. Смогу ли я? А зачем мне это? Немножко непонятно, что-то я подтупливаю. А, он даже же не сваливается так. Как на ту сторону мне перейти? Мгм. Ну, в бок же я его тоже не могу. Ну, то есть, ума палата и непонятно, что делать. Давай-ка еще раз попробуем. В каких местах сейчас это все будет? Так, массовая перестановка.
The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze.
То есть их можно на такие поверхности. Значит, мне надо как-то. А я точно не могу в сторону его двигать же, да?
It was hard to make sense of this place.
А что, назад нельзя? А, сюда в принципе нельзя. А если... Я, правда, не понимаю, зачем, что мне это даст? Ну, походу, правильно что-то делаю.
The trail just kept on closing.
Блин, надо же сначала сдвинуть тот. Сейчас проверим. Падаем. Плюх. Может, я теперь сам могу? Осталось до тут дойти. Угу.
The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clearly.
Угу.
The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths.
Ой.
The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths. The fisherman felt so useless. His former joys were hollow. Sitting out there every day by the pond, only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered. A thought beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It all started with a frog. Every day by the pond, a constant reminder. For a brief moment, the fisherman struggled to speak. He looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. There's a frog in that pond. Saw him grow from a tadpole. We were friends of a sort, spent every day side by side. So much better at fishing than me that catches him before I can bait. Oh, it makes me feel useless some days. The fisherman sighed. I've wasted so much. The old man looked carefully at the pond. Well, it helps though, telling someone. Thank you. If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
А мне надо поймать.
The fisherman noticed the broken net Ember was carrying. Let me have a look. See what I... With a silk thread, the fisherman, with each knot he tied, a net began to form. Here you go. Good as new.
Спасибо тебе, друг. А что с лягушкой? А, у меня же
Poor
червяк нет.
little worms. They didn't... But how do you fish without... One for me, one for the fishes. Slurp 'em down. You saw the frog? Did the frog mention me? You asked the frog about me. Actually, please don't tell the frog how much I talk about them. They say catching a fish, so I tell myself that a lot. I chased old Blue Betty round this pond for years. Best days of my life had to use myself as bait. Stuck on me head ever since.
Ну ладно.
If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
Хорошо. Так, теперь мне надо вернуться в начало.
The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling.
Очуметь, что она меня сожрала?
This was not how Ember had him. The gurgling of water, a deafening heartbeat. But then... the frog returned Ember's good deed by leading them to a lost forlorn.
Да.
The
Ну
stranger
давай,
stood alone.
в лужу.
Their friends have fallen aside, retreating from what came next. The stranger had ventured on. Now they were deep in the woods. It felt so pointless. The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there.
Так, ну хорошо. Как отсюда выйти? Ага. А я там нажал кнопочку.
Inside was a scrap of journal. The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me.
Это мой дневник, интересно. Вот я сюда типа могу вернуться.
The stranger spoke. You look hungry, friend. You bring any broth? There's a cook in the swamp. Makes a broth like you wouldn't believe. Keep telling them that it doesn't taste right. They'll keep giving you more.
Еще
The
одно
ghost
место
said,
осталось.
Speak and I will listen. The path ahead, know that if you return, you will always be welcome. Warm yourself, little one. Time is to be saved.
Угу.
The Wanderer's Diary. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place
Странненько,
between
конечно,
places?
звучит.
I call out, but mine is the only
Интересно.
voice.
От создателя No Man's Sky.
The key was nestled between, but it was just out of reach.
Угу.
The old gate was locked. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. The stranger gasped for breath. Dark water slipping above their head.
Ну и чё? Не понял. А, вода больше не появляется. А,
The sea didn't care if they sank or swam. Slowly the tides ebbed, washing over old walls. A safe harbor emerging from the inky depths. Ember reached out a hand. The stranger looked down. The ground feels good beneath my feet, friend.
а что у нас все?
The ghost said, "You have done all you can, little one. Your journey lies ahead. Little one, your journey ahead will not be easy. The
Непростым.
path to leave this place, I will guide others to follow after you clear the way." There are others like me who can help. You will
Хорошо.
always be welcome here in the forest.
А, лес мы прошли. Замечательно. Так, ну, пока надо прерваться. Потом посмотрим дальше, что это такое. А я не знаю, сохранился он, нет?
Once again, Ember could feel eyes watching.
Заодно и проверим. А, 50. Интересно. Где? А,
Once
ну
again,
шикарно,
Ember could
шикарно.
feel